Today's a special one. I am so happy to be doing this. It's very rare that I have a guest on. In fact, I have only had a total of two guests ever on this podcast. The first ever guest we had was the Queen herself, Mistress Marley, the dominatrix, who talked us through her journey of starting out as the young black lady who went viral for having a leashed old man on his knees at homecoming, which was hilarious. And then my second guest was world famous comedian Catherine Ryan, who gave us the lowdown on marriage, dominating your husband, and advocating yourself through partnership with men. And now we have our third and another iconic woman to add to the roster of powerful people that have come on this podcast, the one, the only, the OG Tierra Doll. She is in the building.
I'm so happy to be here. You have no idea. Hi, Mom.
Oh, so Tiara Doll, for those who might not be familiar, is a powerful dominatrix. For me, I am incredibly picky about the women that I have on this podcast because it is all about having perspectives from women who exude power in a way that other women want to learn from, who are likely to be inspired by. And ultimately, I want to share perspectives that are often overlooked in society due to stigma, due to misconceptions, and due to jealousy. I'm somebody who believes in sharing this platform to give women the opportunity to learn directly from those who they might not have had the opportunity to cross paths with. And Tiara Doll is all the way from the States. And I'm very lucky to have met her through the world of femdom. We recently spent a weekend gallivanting this city. We went to the femdom ball.
Elegantly.
Very, very elegant, darling. And Tiara actually messaged me and was like, God, I want to come on the podcast. And I was like, oh my God,
What's up?
Yeah, I didn't even have the guts to ask you because I was like, well, I don't even know if you're going to be in the city long enough.
I had the
but
guts.
I'm glad you had the guts because closed mouths don't get fed. But I would like you to introduce yourself in the way that you want to be introduced.
Okay. Well, yours was quite nice. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm the OG Tierra Doll. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I now reside in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm in my decade year of femdom full time.
Wow, so that's 10 years.
10 years. Yeah, I'm 38 now. I started at 28. So, yeah, it's been a really cool journey, though, and only upward. You know what I'm saying? Haven't really had too many bad experiences, but, yeah, that's how I got here today.
What is your definition of femdom?
Women on top.
Period.
Women first. You know, us in control. Us organizing. Us delegating. Kind of the way it should be because the men are not doing such a great job. And that's just it. Yeah.
Girl, why did you feel drawn to femdom?
I was in a really sucky relationship. And all of a sudden, my personality kind of split into two. And I internally created this bodyguard, so to speak. Because, you know, as women, we're all kind of brought up or trained to be submissive, you know? It's a brainwashing. It starts with Disney. It starts with, you know, just the way your mom raised you, because that's all she knows, you know, how to keep a man in the house. And that wasn't good for me. It was very a dangerous place. It was not a safe space. Every man I came across took advantage of me. Every single one. So yeah, that last one kind of broke me, and the bodyguard Tiara Doll was created. Wow. And after that, I was just like, not in this house. That's it. Like, and all of a sudden, I started researching. I read femdom fiction books. I wanted to get in the mind of the submissive so I could know how to properly dominate them, how to properly run things. You know what I'm saying? And run my life. Like, take control of my life. I didn't have control of my life, you know, and that's how I got here, pretty much.
That's powerful, and it really resonates with my own origin story, as you would say, into navigating femdom.
Right.
I'm curious to know what kind of advantage the men took of you until you experienced one too many.
Ooh, I was a people pleaser. You know, I did everything for my man without a ring. You know what I'm saying? I stayed too long. I didn't love myself enough. So that's how I got to the breaking point. I was just like, I had enough. Like, change needs to happen, you know? I looked up into the universe. I was like, I'm ready for the next phase. Like, bring it on. And this was it. This was the next chapter. But I think a lot of us get tired, like this tired. And I think that's how a lot of us got here. Like, we just got so tired. It was like extreme. You know what I'm saying? Extreme flip of the coin.
Oh. And for me, it's so motivating and enlightening to hear you say that you began your femdom journey at 28 years old. And the reason I say that is because as femdom has become popularized post-pandemic, and we're seeing the rise of lots of younger aged dominatrixes.
Oh, yeah.
There's this whole idea that, well, if you didn't start when you were 21, then there's no point starting at all because 28 is too old, it's too late. And we hear that messaging constantly as women. It's this idea that once you're past the age of like 25, you're geriatric, you're too old to pursue a new passion, you're too old to start again. And I find that so beautiful because 28 is the age that I began my curiosity towards femdom. And when I first discovered femdom and became curious about it, the immediate fear and negative self-talk I had was, oh, well, I'm 28 now, and the people who I look up to or the people who I see who are killing it, they already started like 5 years ago, and oh, it's going to take me so long to get to where they're at. Even now, I still have those thoughts occasionally where I'm 30 in a couple months' time, and I only started exploring femdom 2 years ago, but this year is the first time I'm actually immersing myself fully in the community, in sessions, in being involved in the practice.
Right, both feet in.
Yes, right. And I'm really recognizing that it does take time to get the results. And I'm curious to know for you, what was your first year like versus now that you're 10 years in?
Yeah, for me, it's never too late to start. 21, I knew nothing about this. You know what I'm saying? And then, because it wasn't popular online. The reason why we have all these post-pandemic Insta-doms, baby doms, is because of YouTube, TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Other doms have figured out a way to make clickbait and just make videos for clicks so they can monetize off it, whether the information and the advice is false or not. So all these girls are jumping on the bandwagon like, oh, okay, I can do this, but they can't really do it because they don't have no mentors, no headmistresses. They're not going through the proper protocols and formalities to really become a mistress. You know what I'm saying?
And
like,
what are those formalities?
Yeah, like one, you need a headmistress. Someone has to lead you.
My headmistress is Madame Carabelle.
Right. You know what I'm saying? When I came to London, she polished me up, and I was already on my way. But she was like,
she'll get you together.
Got me together, and thank you for that. Like, because that,
we love Madame Carabelle.
Man, that is a woman right there. Like, I have no words, just emotions for her. You know what I'm saying? I love her so much, and what she does for the femdom community. But I feel like, yeah, you're never too old. It's when your time, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people think I'm 25. Nobody believes that I'm 38.
You were the same age as me.
Yeah, everybody's like, oh, you're young. I'm like, actually, I could have been your mom. I just take care of myself.
And you know what? Yeah, I think part of why you don't look weathered by your experiences is because you live a lifestyle where you can actually afford to take care of yourself, move at a slow pace, and do what you want. Right.
My first year, before I even made my first tweet, I studied for like 30 days. I read the books. I looked at other popular doms. Twitters, and I was like, all right, what is she saying? Because I didn't want to sound dumb. You know what I'm saying? I just came from a rapping and modeling and bartending background. Wow. So I had the look, I had the professional pictures to promote myself, but I didn't have the talk yet. I didn't have the experience. I just knew what I felt. And all of a sudden, you know, as time progressed, I learned it's not about having a talk or knowing what to say. It's your truth. It's really how you feel about them. Like, if you feel like this guy has a little dick and he's dumb, say that. There's no teaching for it. It's how you feel. It's the truth. Everybody's like my mentees, they're all like, oh, I'm so stuck on what to say. I'm like, say what you want. Say how you feel. You know what I'm saying? Because everything I say in my content is exactly really how I feel.
Based on true events, Henny.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I feel. There's no faking that. Yeah.
I deeply resonate with what you said, because when I think about my style of dominance, oftentimes I think about the anger and disgust and lack of patience I have for men, and that informs my style of talking to them. So it's like, I'll be like, can you hurry up?
Yes, I tap into that every time.
Irritating me. Like, think about The guy who you don't fancy, who is constantly texting your phone, when you see his name pop up, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
that energy, that attitude, apply that to all of them.
For me, it's gotten there. It's actually gotten a little bit past that. Like, I'm just like, ew, men. You know what I'm saying? So any thought I have of men is kind of negative. You know what I'm saying? But that's just based on my experiences. They show me they're stupid. They fucking show me they're slow. They show me they're incompetent and they're disorganized. They show that to me every day. So it's like, I can't treat them anywhere else naturally. So that's why I'm just like, yeah, this is real. It doesn't shut off. I don't have a switch.
No, because once you become exposed to reality, you can't unsee
I can't go
it.
back. I can't unsee.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can't pretend. I can't go and have a vanilla boyfriend.
Girl.
Nah, I actually need a switch or a sub.
I feel the same.
Everybody's like, oh, you want a bitch ass nigga? Yeah, maybe I do.
Maybe I
Yes,
do.
I
Maybe I
do.
want 3 of them.
Yes.
And what about
I want
it?
3 bitch ass niggas actually.
Right, thank you. A very,
A
very
white,
good
a Chinese, an
workforce.
Indian, and a black.
Diverse.
I want all. I need a house of them.
Diverse
You know,
workforce.
and they're like, oh no, you don't. You don't know me. Actually, I do. And you thinking I don't is annoying. Move.
Well, you know what? Off the back of that, what I find irritating, you would think that, oh, it's the men who are irritating. It's actually the women I find more irritating who look at our lifestyle from the outside in, who can't get into the club. And they say these things like, this is misandry. This just seems like you're broken and you need to heal.
Where's your dad?
Yeah, daddy issues.
But I talk to my dad every single day. My
Me
dad
too.
is
My dad knows
actually
what I do, and he
my
loves
dad.
me.
Yeah, my dad is a natural dom. He dates white women all his life.
And you said he takes their land?
Yes, he takes their land. He drives their cars, their houses. You know what I'm saying? Like,
He's getting the land back, girl.
you know what I'm saying?
Let him
so
cook.
he has been doing this on the low, probably subconsciously, my whole life. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, okay. So when I brought it to him, he was just like, oh, okay. Well, I got a foot fetish too. Ask your mom. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, holy crap. It's kind of embedded in me. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Yes.
have no daddies. My family is so proud.
Period.
My mom's an entrepreneur, so she's like, you know, be a boss.
They so badly want you to have this car crash of a sub story so that they can
Yeah.
psychoanalyze
No,
you.
and the women suck. I can't have vanilla friends because of it. But the women who are non-believers, they
Yeah.
completely suck. I'm like, girl,
They're
I
slut
could teach
shaming.
you the way. Like, you don't have to do it like this. You don't have to be on your knees sucking cock for
cooking and
things.
cleaning.
You know what I'm
Talking
saying?
about I'm a wife
Your sex
and I
worker.
love him. Right. Okay, girl, can we go there? Because at the time of us having this conversation,
Girl,
the past week I have been getting...
I have been so in tune with that. I
Girl,
love it.
I did not expect this to blow up. So for those who might not be aware, basically, I went on a popular podcast. Well, it's not really a podcast. I went on a popular interviewers platform. Her name is Zizi Mills, and she's huge for the culture in the UK. And as part of my hour-plus long conversation with Zizi, we briefly discussed sex work and marriage. And I said that marriage is a form of sex work. And I briefly explained it. I didn't go into academic granular detail because I didn't feel the need to.
But you broke the internet.
But it smashed the internet into pieces. There's like one group of people being like, oh my goodness, how could you say that? You must be broken. There's another group of people on the internet who are like, well, this makes sense. And I don't see why people are disagreeing. And I didn't say it to be deliberately like contrarian or controversial. I've said things that I consider way more controversial. Like, even the idea and the physical embodiment of being a dominatrix is inherently controversial.
Yeah,
So
it is.
I don't walk around trying to be this like, oh, I'm going to say some controversial shit. I said that marriage is sex work because I believe that it is a navigation of transactional engagement with men, but it is the lowest and least appreciated form of sex work, least paid. And I think the issue that people are having, and the reason I believe people are struggling to just accept the statement for what it is because they see sex work as the stereotypical and the most sensationalized version of sex work we've all been exposed to, where it's the mother of 5 children who is having unenjoyable, unwanted sex so she can pay for her kids' baked beans, when that's one version of sex work, and that's not a very glamorous and it's not a very empowered version of sex work.
But the spectrum is so wide.
But the spectrum is wide. There is sex work from selling feet pics, being a phone operator, being a dominatrix, even I would consider working in Hooters.
Right.
It is a form of sex work because you are selling your sexuality to also sell the burgers and chips.
Yeah.
It's work. marriage is also on that spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
But marriage is like, I see it as, instead of paying a one-time fee to a sex worker for a blowjob, you have her on a retainer, but you've
Right.
negotiated the contract where you've put so many clauses in there where she's getting less of a bargain of the deal and the man gets more. But people find it really hard to see it as sex work, because if we acknowledge and accept that marriage is sex work, then we would also have to confront the reality that we're not getting a very good end of the deal as wives.
Right.
And that's hard.
And a lot of wives, married women, they don't want to smash the fantasy of marriage for other women. They are keeping it very hush-hush that they're not having a good time. You know what I'm saying? They're keeping it very on the low that they're not that happy married. You know what I'm saying? And that it is a lot. It's a lot on them. It's housework. It's work. It's sex work. You know what I'm saying? It's child work.
childcare.
Yeah. So it is. It's a lot. And
It's
and I
work.
think the reason why they're so defensive is because they got sold a dream. And they are trying to keep the dream alive for everyone else. Like, you know, like just for everyone else. They're just trying to show a good face for everyone else when it's not really like that in reality. And I think that's why a lot of people are disagreeing, because they're not ready to face it. And yeah, they think sex work, when they hear the word, is so dirty to them. They're like,
And it
oh my
sounds
God,
very mechanical.
escort. It goes straight to that. Nothing else on the spectrum. Like, you know, being a dominatrix, that's, to me, it's like, it's just not so ugly or it's like probably one of the most glamorous, you know what I'm saying?
And I would say it's probably, in my opinion, as someone who has been a stripper before,
Right.
I would say being a dominatrix is probably the most efficient form of sex work. You can preserve more of your energy. You don't physically have to talk to men in person. You don't have to be touched or groped.
You don't have to be touched.
You're
not
I think
laying
you're
with
safer.
anyone. Yeah, you are safer.
Obviously, if you
control.
take measures to protect yourself, that means
Yes.
don't use your real name.
Yes.
No posting your location in real time. Making sure that you are in control of what you share about the money you're making
Right.
and who you're talking about your life to, especially men that you might be dating. But this applies to, even if you're not a sex worker, if you're a vanilla woman, you still need to be safe.
All of those
you need
things.
To
You have
apply
to do
safety
all
measures.
of those things as a
Sex
woman.
work is dangerous because of men, not because of the inherent nature of the
Right.
transaction. It's men.
Right.
So dating
Yeah.
is dangerous because of
Yeah.
men. Sex work is dangerous because
And
of
you're
men.
dating, you're going to meet this guy at a bar for free
From a dating app.
from a dating app.
Because
You're not collecting a deposit or an ID. If he assaults you, then what?
Can we talk about that briefly? Because
Of
I
course.
think another thing that is a misconception, and I understand why people have this misconception, because they
Yeah,
don't
me too.
understand that as dominatrixes, we are thorough and we prioritize our safety before
Yes, there's
everything.
a
No
very
amount of money is
thick-
worth your life.
Yes.
But can you give us some insight on what screening means?
Yes, there's a very thick vetting process. So, most of us collect ID. I do, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like if I have your identification card, if anything goes wrong, I'm going to go to the authorities. Doesn't matter. I have all the information I need. And usually people don't play themselves when I have their ID. They just don't try me. I've had 100% success rate. I've never been assaulted, raped, nothing like that. Thank God. Thank the universe.
Thank you, Jesus.
But I've never had a bad experience because of my vetting. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking to them in a video call. I have to make sure they're not kind of crazy, because I'm very picky too. I do
Even
have a
just
lot
off
of
the
sessions,
energy, you
but
can
I'm
decide.
super, super picky. Yes, I'm all about energy. I'm a water sign, baby. So it's like I have to feel them. You know what I'm saying? I have to feel if I want to be there, if I want to engage. You know what I'm saying? I pick and choose. It's not everyone who's throwing money at me I accept. No, I've rejected and blocked so many people on my London block list. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And also, even when it comes to the content we make online that goes on the sites where we sell
Yes,
those
yes.
clips, we also make we present men contracts to sign for them to say, I give you permission to use these clips. I am declaring that I am 18 and over. Like, this is a thorough legal process.
Yeah.
We're not just walking
Yeah.
around taking any.
Yeah, they're signing model release forms if they want to be in my content. I have their ID again. Yeah, it's very thorough. It's very thorough. We even have like referral systems from dom to dom.
Yes.
If he says he's worked with or sessioned with another dom, I'm gonna ask her to verify. I'm gonna ask her to see how he was. I'm gonna see, you know what I'm saying, who else has sessioned with him. You
yeah,
can actually read reviews on clients because girls are posting reviews on clients too. So there's a lot. We have a good amount of resources and ways to go
Yes.
about it. Yeah, to be safe, you know.
You have to be. And I think it's interesting because when people see sex workers, they try to take on this false I want to save you perspective. Oh, you don't have to do that. Sex workers are in so much danger. Actually, sex workers take more measures to protect themselves than vanilla women who are dating men from dating apps.
Yes, exactly. We're way safer than the vanilla women. And also, I have to make sure that these men that are contacting me are truly submissive. I have to make sure he's not an alpha in submissive clothing. You know what I'm saying?
How do you identify that?
Oh,
that's interesting.
That's why the video calls come up. The booking process must be smooth.
Okay,
I don't
so
need
you saying
any
you do
lip.
video calls before you even have a session with them in a dungeon?
Once they give me, their deposit and their ID, I have a video call with them immediately. All right, come talk to me for like 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? One, if he's gotten that far, he has like half a check already because he didn't make the booking process hard or difficult or annoying. He did everything he was supposed to. Now we're on a video call and I gotta make sure, you know what I'm saying, he's not fake. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, usually, their shoulders are hunched, their eyes are looking down, they're jotting around.
As they should. Lower your fucking
gaze.
gaze.
They're truly submissive. So I'm actually safe because they're scared. They're more scared of me than I am of them. So yeah, 100%. I just gotta make sure they're a real sub.
Yes, and another thing that I think is so important as well is, some DOMs don't have it. Some DOMs do a tribute fee. In my opinion, True. I think the purpose of a tribute fee, again, because being dominated by a woman is a luxury. And the tribute fee, in my opinion, it kind of like, it's like you're paying for your raffle ticket. You wait for your number to be called. It doesn't guarantee that I'm giving you anything.
Right.
But it's just for me to acknowledge you.
Right. Not all of the new subs know about tribute fees, but I definitely, bring that to their attention. They're trying to be chatty with me in my inboxes, and I'm like, no, here you go. My link is right here. You can handle that. If not,
I recently had to increase my tribute fee because what's interesting about my position is because I'm already a public figure.
Right.
I have to be more careful and more intentional about just letting men serve me. But I also have to tap into that novelty of like, I'm also a celebrity in my vanilla because I'm easy to find in terms of.
And plus, a lot of men, you got them riled up. So you have to be very careful. Yeah, you have to really make sure that they're not pretending either, because I've gone through some of the comments on yours, and I'm just like, ooh, look at him, he mad. You know what I'm saying?
Mad.
But yeah, so yeah, you definitely, as a public figure, you have to take those extra steps.
Yes, because there's one sub, funny enough, he actually found me from this podcast. Okay. And he paid my tribute fee, which at the time was £50. Okay. He not only did he pay the tribute fee, he also bought me a perfume. And I was like, okay, this is good because this is the perfume I wanted for ages. And the perfume was like £250 and it was on my throne and I didn't even think of it. And once that happened, he bought the tribute fee, he bought the perfume. We had a good interaction for a while. He was sending me money. But as you know with these subs, right, just because they're sending you money and for that while they're devoted, it doesn't mean that's going to last forever.
No, all subs have an expiration date.
Period. Some expire sooner than others.
Yes.
But while it was good, it was good.
Yes.
Period.
They all have an expiration date.
It helps you to practice detachment with men.
Yeah. Because when I lost my first cuck sub, I cried. I was very attached because
long was
he was so perfect. Maybe like 6 months.
That's a long time.
Paid for everything. Sent me to the spa, shopping, this, that, and the third. He only talked to me on night flirt, so the calls were paid every time. You know what I'm saying? And just a high amount of respect. And I think his dad passed away, so he had to pull back. But yeah, I was so sad, so I had to learn detachment myself. So I was like, this is too good. Oh my God. Right? Yeah.
But so at the time, my tribute fee was £50, and I thought, oh, that's a bit high, but whatever, someone will pay it. Someone paid it. But after I had this brief interaction with this guy, and he decided to make up an excuse as to why he doesn't want to be of service to me anymore, after I blocked him, I've now raised the tribute fee to £100. And when I was raising it, for a while I was like, don't know if this is too high. But then I recognized as well that in this lifestyle, there's no such thing as too high, because I've seen over on escort Twitter, I've seen the girlies are charging like £20,000 for a 48-hour fly me to you, and I'm here worrying about £100 for you to talk to me.
Listen, first of all, the white girls are killing it. They're asking for whatever they want,
and they're getting it.
There's no reason why we shouldn't either.
Talk
Like,
about it, girl.
you already have the thing going, know your worth and act on it. Yeah, don't be afraid to charge. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Somebody will pay it.
Yes. And even don't be worried about missing out on, you know what I'm saying? Don't have FOMO about this, because there's a million billion submissive men on the planet. You know what I'm saying? Your tribute fee will help weed out the bullshit.
That's why I had to increase it,
You know what I'm
because I
saying?
think you have to price out the weirdos.
Right. The serious ones will pay.
Because that one I just told you about, who paid the £50 and bought the perfume,
The ones who love you will pay.
that was the equivalent of my tribute fee times 3.
See?
So it's like, if someone wants to, they will. If they have the means, and if they want to,
They will.
double that. And so for me, it's like, coming into this lifestyle of femdom at the age of 28, at the time when I first discovered it.
Yeah.
I'm still of the perspective that I really want to take this slow and take my time, because it's so easy to look at what's happening online. Sometimes I see the girls posting their sends. I'm like, oh my goodness. The girls are like, I'm on a 7K day. I'm just $300 away from £7,000 today.
Yes.
Which cock is going to get me 7,000? I'm like, yes, girl, you better get it. And I'm like,
yes.
this is fascinating. And there's doms who I've seen who have like only 500 followers on Twitter, and they're pulling in money from these men.
The wealth distribution that femdom is creating for women is crazy, and the men are sick. They are so sick. Women are. We're taking this money and opening businesses. We're taking this money and open up Airbnbs. We're doing so much.
Opening dungeons.
Yes. Oh my God. Like, the script is flipping on them, and they're the ones crying broke now, damn there. And it's like, hello.
And that's why I am so drawn to femdom, because the basis of my politic is wealth redistribution. And I do believe that femdom is the closest and quickest we're going to get to reparations as Black women. And people don't like when I say that, because, again, it goes back to that whole idea of like, okay, femdom is sex work, yes. So you're saying that sex work is reparations. Now it's not. It's like, you're not understanding. Again, people keep on seeing sex work as this mechanical, penetrative, unwanted sex. It's like, no, me giving a man the opportunity to tap into my energy, and me charging whatever I decide in that moment, and I'm getting the money from that and using that money to feed into my lifestyle and to build my career, that's reparations.
That's reparations, because we're not getting it from the government.
We're not getting it anytime soon.
Everybody else
They be waiting for the big green button for Kamala to press a big green button.
So we're going directly to the source.
Take it.
We're going directly to the source.
Take it.
And taking it. Demanding it. You know?
Like, I'm not waiting for a man to have benevolence.
You owe me.
And for making me wait, you're going to give me more.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of white subs have slavery guilt anyway.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? Because
as they should.
The way they're raised and they don't agree with, you know what I'm saying? Their parenting, all of these things, man, I was on Night Flirt 3 o'clock in the morning from UK subs talking about, look, I'm just having such a hard time. My friends say nigger when Black people aren't around, and I work for a law firm, and we specifically deny Black applications. I'm like, oh, so what the fuck are you gonna do to change that? What are you gonna do to change that? And he's like, I'm gonna do this, and I'm like, good. And then send me this while you're at it, bitch.
So for the girlies who are not familiar with night flirts, what is night flirt?
It's a phone line and a chat line. So you can get paid to receive calls from these submissives. And, by the minute, you can charge whatever you want. And, yeah, I have a couple of lines. I have
there's dom line.
A verbal humiliation line. I have a ass worship line, a foot worship line. I just talk about the different fetishes.
This is all within night flirts?
Yes. I have a category for each one. So when night flirt calls, I know exactly what category they're calling. I have a fart line, too.
We need to talk about this, because you know what? Yeah,
I already know.
Yeah!
We gonna get to that. We gonna get to it.
Yes, I can't remember. There was someone's podcast I was on. I think it was a podcast called Cocktails and Takeaways, hosted by Madam Joyce in the UK.
Somebody sent it to me.
Yes.
I was like,
and I was saying, I've got a friend who farts and men pay her, and people were trying to say, she's talking about herself. I'm like, no, guys. I mean it. Like, the person exists, and one day you'll know who she is. This is the friend I was talking about. Everybody pay your respects. All bow down for the queen. Thank you. You know. This queen, the OG Tierra Doll, literally gets paid to fart.
That's one of my biggest categories.
She alchemizes IBS. Yes. Thank you.
Lactose intolerant, baby. It works, man. And I got it down to a science now, because I didn't always do fart fetish from my 10-year start. It's only been 2 years. someone put me onto it on Twitter. They were like, there's a whole fart fetish community on Twitter. And I think, because they knew me personally, they were like, you're gassy, and I think you would do great. And I was like, I can't catch farts like that. And I waved it off at first, but then I saw how the community was so like, the fart guys are gentlemen. They're nicer than foot guys, and they spend more.
Wow.
And a majority of them are black.
Interesting.
A lot of them are cute too.
What do you think that they enjoy and relish in terms of the experience of you farting with? Because I've seen videos where like you literally have a special seat.
Yes, my fart box.
The fart box, they lie down.
Yes, and I harness them
ceiling.
Inside the seat, and they're
and then your
totally
bare
relaxed.
bottom is on their face, and then you like spread your bottom and you release the fart. It directly goes into their nose, and they.
I'd be like, "Where you want it? Nose or mouth? You want to smell it or you want to eat it?" And they're like, oh.
It's such a mood.
It is. It's very empowering. When I get up and I done farted a guy's face off, you know what I'm saying, for like half an hour, I feel like that bitch. I really do.
And you literally make money off of gas.
Every time.
Passive gas.
And I'm just like, why
this is alchemy.
If I would have started doing this 10 years ago instead of 2,
girl, but you know what?
I had mansions.
I know, right? It is what it is, though.
Man.
You started where you started. But
Gas prices is high.
Quite literally. Inflation. You got to match your prices to the fee of inflation, girl. Period. Mm-hmm. Because it costs you to produce that gas. You need to buy food.
And I have to be uncomfortable for a bit. You know what I'm saying? I have to bloat myself. I have to induce this gas. I have to
deliberately eat ice cream.
Right. Ice cream and pizza is a killer combo. You know what I'm saying?
And the smell as well.
Man. And I usually have all my sessions in the morning because, you know, naturally, if I eat the dairy at nighttime, sleep on it in the morning, I am a napalm bomb. Yeah. And it's not really much other than that, you know what I'm saying? Because guys are just like, oh my God, what do you eat? I'm just, it's dairy. I'm not supposed to eat that.
You know what I find so fascinating about this is that somebody listening to this somewhere in the world is going to be like, ew, you're farting on men. Oh my God, that's so degrading. But what I find on a deeper level, on a spiritual level, this is alchemy. Like, you're literally alchemizing something as passive as gas that your body would throw away produce. It's literally a throwaway substance.
Yeah.
And even that, you've turned your garbage to gold. That's the bit that I want women to lean into. I'm not saying everybody needs to start farting. I'm saying like
they need to alchemize.
Everything about you is valuable. Your fingernails.
I've been doing alchemy with my tears for years. Every time a man makes me cry, I make $5,000 the next day. You know what I'm saying? Every time I break up with somebody, I glow up the next week. You know what I'm saying? And at first I didn't know how I was doing it, but I was just really just turning into myself, putting the love back inward, you know what I'm saying? And then just literally forgetting about the situation. Like that timeline never happened. Moving forward, you know what I'm saying? I'm taking the lessons, moving forward. But yeah, you can literally alchemize anything about you and turn it into gold.
Right, and that's what makes femdom so interesting because the library of fetishes, it's so nuanced.
It's like a million.
Just when you think you've seen every fetish, there's elbow fetish, there's belly button fetish.
Yes.
So you don't even need to...
Braces. I just got braces in January. I'm eating.
Is that a fetish as well?
I'm kicking off the braces now.
Is that
I do mouth tour content where
What's that? Oh, you're showing the...
And I got the camera all up in my mouth. That's it. I don't say
like
a word. That's it.
And they're purchasing the clips.
Because vor is a fetish. Vor, mouth fetish, teeth fetish, tongue fetish. These are all subcategories under femdom. Yeah.
And this is what
giantess.
makes me... I love a giantess fetish. You buy the tiny little miniature dolls
it's all under that giantess umbrella. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's so fascinating because when I think about things about myself that I look at and I'm like, oh, I wish that wasn't there. For example, like there's a scar that I have on my thigh from when I was steaming a dress and I accidentally put the steamer and I'm like, wait, that could be a fetish.
Everything is a fetish.
Bruise fetish.
If you sprain your ankle, you have a cast. That's a fetish. Go look on Clips for Sale. Cast and sprained ankle fetish. I used to do it too. There was a guy over here somewhere asking me to wear a fake cast and hop around my living room. My foot was never broken.
The girls are thinking that what we're doing is, we're having unwanted, unpleasurable sex.
Nobody has seen my nipples. No one has seen my nipples. They don't know what my pussy looks like. All they seen is my booty hole when I fart or when I.
The girls are showing belly button and elbow and gum lining.
Yeah. and caking. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, we're making money off. And the thing is, it's so many fetishes. You yourself become a fetish after a while.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
The way I talk. Oh my God. You know, my Brooklyn accent, nail tapping, because I always usually have super long nails.
And
you know what I'm saying?
your jewelry jangling and clanking.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So everything, the tattoos on me, everything can be a fetish. And it is, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
I'm just so empowered by this conversation because when I speak about femdom by myself, I notice that women tend to come back at me with this whole rebuttal of like, but you're just sexualizing yourself. That's not empowering. That's not feminism. For me, it's like not everything a woman does needs to be feminist for it to empower her as an individual. And why I think it's important to say that is because there is this constant desire to try and force things to fit under a feminist umbrella. And if it doesn't fit, then we chastise it. So, for example, somebody could decide to argue that you farting on a man's face and him paying you is not feminist because he still has the power because he's got the money. It's like, no.
But I had to choose him. I had to vet him. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not because he had the money, because maybe 10 more of him had the money, but only him got chosen. You know what I'm saying? No. He don't have the power. I do. I had to choose him.
You're making the fart as well.
I am also making the fart.
Thank you very much.
You know what I'm saying? I'm the one cooking up here. No. Men don't have the power with dominatrixes. And a sub tried to tell me that one day. He goes, actually, you know, we kind of have the power because we have the money. I'm like, actually, no, because I can choose to decline you and your money. Now what? Now you can't do shit for me. Get out my face. Nothing for you. That's it. You're done here. You know what I'm saying? So, no, that is a big misconception. Men still do not have no power here. They don't. Because we still choose.
And this is coming from a 6-figure generating dominatrix speaking.
Yes.
Get your props, girl. Yeah. Period.
And probably on my way, you know, to a little further. You know what I'm saying?
Go.
Because I know my net worth is $1 million right now.
Period. Y'all hear
you know
that?
So
did you hear that?
That
from
happened,
dominating men.
Right. That happened sometime last year.
You're so disempowered. And
you
got $1 million.
Right. I'm so sad and I'm so broken.
You need to heal.
Cry with this money.
You need to go heal.
I'm so lonely and I'm gonna have cats all my life.
No one's gonna love you.
The whole world loves me.
Amen. And will continue to.
Yes, and they will love me for the rest of my life. No matter what I look like, what I do.
And you will love yourself for the rest of your life.
Yes. And it shows, you know what I'm saying? And since people can see that I love myself, they love me as well. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they don't play themselves when it comes to me.
Oh, period.
They already know I'm not going.
So I'm curious to know, like, what are the common things that baby doms come to you with in terms of like what they're struggling with and what kind of advice you give them? Because people are always asking me for advice on starting in femdom, and I always decline giving advice. I always share my theory and outlook, but I don't give advice because I always say, go to Mistress Marley, diversify your sources of information. I'm in this journey. I don't think I'm in a place where I want to teach, just because a lot of the women who come to me, they're like, so I just got out of an abusive relationship. So I want to be a dominatrix now. So like, what should I do? And I'm like, that's the worst time to try and do this. Or they'll be like, I just lost my job and I'm really desperate for money. No, now is not the time.
That's not for you either, sweetie. So
I'm so sorry.
Being a dominatrix is not a get quick rich scheme. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen overnight. Some are lucky, but not all. You know what I'm saying? This is a grind. This is a full-time job. You know what I'm saying? You have to market yourself. You have to promote yourself. The biggest or most requested thing that I usually get from newcomers is how to acquire subs. And that's a big secret because most people think you have to go on social media and promote every single day to acquire them. But social media has the biggest amount of time wasters. You know what I'm saying? My advice would be the content route, because that is marketing. That is your commercial. That is, that is showing everything you do and everything you're interested in. You know what I'm saying? Because you're creating that content. So they'll see your content selling, or they are a member of whatever clip store. Like I have 5 clip stores and they all have a different audience.
Can you name them?
Yeah, many vids, clips for sale, I want clips, OnlyFans, loyal fans. And they all have different audiences. They're not the same. So if you have one, you're going to miss out on the others. You know what I'm saying? So I always encourage to open up multiple clip stores, be consistent in scheduling out content so that you always have content out, and those people will find you and they'll say, I saw you from this clip store. I bought your clip. So they already kind of tributed, you know what I'm saying? Because they're already in tune with you. They're buying clips, they're binging.
They're invested.
They're like, okay, I'm ready to meet you. I'm ready to do more for you. I'm far away. I'm ready to send money. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, go the content route. You know, don't beat the pavement of Twitter and Instagram looking for subs, you know, begging on social media. Who's gonna buy my pizza? Who's buying coffee?
God.
Nah.
Oh, I find that cringe.
Nah, it is so cringe. I'm
That's
like,
so
stop
cheap.
begging.
Girl, not for £20.
Stop begging.
It's never that serious.
You know what I'm saying?
Reimburse. Girl.
Right, no. I don't remember the last time I posted a reimbursement opportunity. You know what I'm saying? But content. I think content is the most solid way that you can, I guess, solidify your presence, and they'll take you seriously. Because you're validated also in all the clip stores. You have to show your ID and all that. You have to sign a W-9 in the States. So it's like, you know, there's taxes involved and all of this stuff. Like the government's in our business a little bit. But yeah, you're just taken seriously when you're like a serious content creator as well. So that's the best advice I could give. And a lot of doms won't say that, or they don't know that because they probably aren't into making content like I am. You know what I'm saying? But I'm very militant with mine.
I think that's really valuable advice because for me, the next year, I will eventually have a presence on the clip sites. But what I'm spending this time doing is actually building my backlog. Yeah. Because like you were saying, you need to be consistently uploading. But the issue is you can't just upload 5 times for a month and then disappear.
And yeah, you have to be consistent.
Make your backlog.
Because you want to be on the home pages of these sites as new content. You want to be on the front page. You know what I'm saying? So if you upload a clip every day, every other day, every third day, you're going to stay on that front page every time when one of your clips release, you know what I'm saying? So people will be reminded that you're here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, consistency is key for real.
Yes, I'm going to actually look on my phone because what I've been doing is when I see content from clip sites that I want to do, I'm like,
write down all the ideas.
I write that down. I'm like,
You get inspired,
So,
write it down.
Some of the things that I think I'm going to be doing, this is a long ass list, girl.
Ooh.
So I've written eating ASMR.
Yes.
Hand fetish.
Yes.
Slingshotting my socks to the camera.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Boot worship.
Yes.
Neck fetish.
Yes.
Tattoo tour.
Yes.
Panty thief accusatory video.
There we go. That's a creative one. I love
It's
that.
like, you stole my panties.
Right.
You dirty little conniving
That one's
freak.
gonna sell forever.
Did you sniff that?
Forever. And that's the thing about content too. It sells forever until you delete it. You know what I'm saying?
It takes on a life of its own.
It takes on a life of its own. It only goes up. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't go wrong by posting content. It's gonna sell forever.
Another one I've got is feet in nature.
Yeah.
Stick chocolate fingers between my toes and watch them melt. Smashing bananas under my feet and various shoes.
Yes, food crush.
Yes. Talking through my burlesque nipple tassel collection.
Okay.
Rhinestoning my costumes while I ignore you.
Yes, ignore fetish.
Yes.
Man, that's the best.
Yes.
She said yes.
Ignoring while I curl my wig.
Yeah.
Painting my nails but shot overhead style. So like painting my toenails but like...
Gotcha. Yeah. The foot boys will love that.
Sweaty gym wear and shoes.
Yes.
Discussing the scuffing under my shoes.
Okay.
Yes. Singing giantess.
Yes.
30 reasons why you're a loser.
That one is one of my favorites.
Oh, I will take any opportunity to remind a man that he's a loser.
Yeah.
Unprovoked, kink or not.
Yeah.
Modeling my pole shoes collection.
Okay.
Dipping my foot in food. Foot skincare.
Yeah.
Yes. Smoking fetish.
Yes.
Ignoring you while you beg while I do my makeup. Yes. Goddess Gina supervillain skits.
Okay.
Eating ice cream. Drinking matcha. Like, this all sounds so arbitrary, but this is what...
it will all sell. That's what they want.
Because it's so random.
That's what they want. If they could be a fly on your wall and watch you do those things, they would. They definitely would. Ignore fetish is so big. They just want to be like, oh my God, what is she doing?
And if you notice, there's no nudity mentioned in any of that. And it also gives you room to be creative. This is another thing. I think that any clips that you're making, especially for like the girls who want to start making clips, like, you need to center it around things you already do. For example, one of the things I mentioned was rhinestoning my costumes while I ignore you. I am a burlesque performer, so I stick rhinestones on my clothes. It's quite a tedious, long process, but it's something I would do anyway. It's just that now I stick a camera in the corner.
And that's it.
Rhinestone occasionally glance and be like, you fucking loser. Carry on. That's content.
Yo, and it's so easy. It's
Change
so
your
easy.
t-shirt. You still do it. So it looks like you filmed it on different... Like, it's not that hard. But a lot of women overcomplicate it because of fear.
They're thinking too hard. They're like, oh my God, I hate filming, or I don't know what to film and what to say. And I'm like, it's really not that deep.
And they think it might not sell because it's not... Oh, I'm rubbing my
right.
breast and I'm putting
Because
this
they're thinking about what the man, they're assuming about what the men want to see. And also they're assuming about what alphas want to see. And this isn't that audience. This is a submissive audience. So, like I said, I studied the submissive brain for 30 days before I made my first tweet. So I studied it and I was like, all right, now I know what they want and why they want it.
What do they want and why do they want it, Tiara?
They want us to fuck them up. They want us to fuck them up because they know they deserve it. They know that they ain't shit. They're like, she should beat me the fuck up and smack me and curse me out because I'm dumb. I'm just acting smart. I'm at my job acting like I'm the man. But no, I'm not. And it's actually tiring.
Yes.
Because I'm a bitch ass nigga.
And I just want to be myself.
I just want to be
live
myself.
my truth as a bitch ass
Right.
Yeah,
I need a woman to take control of my life because I'm fucking it up.
Can you tell me about top space and the joy that you feel in being a like what does it feel like to be a dominatrix when it's happening? You know, when it's happening, you're like, oh, it's happening. Like,
to me, it's kind of always happening.
Period.
Because, like, for example, I was on the underground doing my makeup on the way here because, you know, I'm rushing. I'm trying to get here on time. I don't need to do.
And you look good.
Thank you so much. And there was a man sitting next to me, and he kept glancing at me. So the third time he glanced, I stared at him. I said, "What?" And he's like, "Oh." I'm like, "Am I bothering you?" And he's like, "Oh, no. I'm like, "Well, you keep staring at me, so, oh, okay." And he just stopped, and I heard him say something to his friend in another language, and his friend looking at me. I started staring at his friend, like, what? And I got the makeup brush in my hand, like, what? And yeah, both of them just. And yeah, that made me feel like that bitch too, because then it's like, listen.
I love that you shared that because...
And it's so small. It was such a tiny, tiny action. It wasn't me cracking a whip at them. It was just them being stern and not being scared to look them in the eye and ask, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But top space feels like that. Like, that's the beginning of it, because when you stand up for yourself and when you say exactly what you want to say, do exactly what you want to do, it does something to my chest. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want to beat it, kind of.
It's not like a wet pussy horny. It's
No.
It's like
it's not wet pussy
horny.
Yes, it's like I just grew a foot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm taller. Like, I'm getting giant. Like colossal on them. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, top space. After like my favorite sessions and stuff, like I literally go outside and I feel like I got a cape on. Like
period.
I'm Wonder Woman all of a sudden.
Amen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's funny because I didn't think that dominating men would be what has given me the confidence I now have. The other day, actually, I was actually out with Mistress Marley. Yeah. We were at the Telfar party.
Okay.
And I ended up seeing this man who, for the past, I want to say it's been 5 years, over the span of 5 years, I have seen him talking shit about me online. He's a journalist, a black man.
You saw a hater.
I saw a hater in the wild.
In real life.
Real life. And when I clocked him, at first I was like, oh, it can't be him. But how I knew it was him was because I noticed his body language was quite uncomfortable. Huh. And because I'm a dominatrix, I'm not scared of making men uncomfortable. I actually get off on it.
Yes.
So what I did was, once I saw where he was standing and dancing in his corner, I deliberately started dancing right in front of him. It wasn't a sexual dance, but it was a dance of like, I'm closing in on you slowly. It got to a point where me and him were very in front of each other. And I could see that he was looking everywhere except at me.
I love that.
And then I leaned in and I was like, you look very familiar. Is your name? Said his name. He was like, yeah. And I was like, are you a journalist? He was like, yeah, I am. And I could tell that he wasn't ready for this confrontation. So then I leaned into his ear and I gave him the read of his life. And as he was about to like say his piece, I was like, I'm not done talking. Carried on reading him. When I finished reading him, I said, I'm done speaking to you. And I walked away. And I felt so... because that was payback for all the years you've been talking shit about me. And I was like, I've not done anything to you.
Right.
I'm a black woman. I'm a person. And it's just really upsetting that a lot of people like to target black women who are powerful.
They personalize the hate for some reason for us. You know what I'm saying? We, like you said, you don't know him from nowhere. You've never spoken to him. You've never directed anything you said to him, but he personalized it and chose to be a hater instead of a supporter. You know what I'm saying? It's like he was like so offended by you.
Right.
You know?
And I could tell that after I'd confronted him and walked away, because I looked good that day. That's another thing as well.
I saw the video.
Oh, girl. Oh, you saw the evidence, honey. This is another thing, right? And I apply this to both my vanilla interactions with men and the ideas I share with women. If you are going to be either starting a fight with your boyfriend or confronting a man, make sure you look good, because it adds extra effect.
Oh, they can't take
feel
it.
better.
They can't handle
They
it.
can't.
Because
you're more confident.
They're
in your delivery.
so locked in on the beauty of you, they can barely do anything else. It definitely works. Yeah.
But being a dominatrix has taught me, like, I'm not saying that men have stopped being dangerous because I'm a dominatrix, but I actually don't feel as scared of men as I used to feel when I was still a vanilla baby girl. Like, I'm more aware of what men are capable of. So now I don't feel scared. Like how you was on the train being like, you got a problem. Yeah. Somebody hearing what you just shared might be like, but aren't you scared that a man might stab you? It's like,
nope.
Baby, no. We know how to identify which target is which. We know how to pick battles.
Also, my hands are bisexual.
Oh, y'all hear that?
So... I had my bonnet on the train too, so I was really ready to turn Brooklyn on if need be.
I've seen you and Melanin Queen jumping these men.
Yo.
Melanin Queen is another dominatrix who I need to get on this podcast.
That's like
as
my
well.
bestie right there. Yes. Oh my gosh, she's great. We be literally.
I need her to avenge my enemies for me.
Yes.
She will pick these men up on her shoulders.
The thing is, when I first started mentoring Mel, she was very foot.
You mentored her.
Yeah, she was very foot fetish based.
Wow.
And then I gave her a gem. I was like, you know what? I think you would do phenomenal in wrestling fetish.
She be throwing these men in the air.
Because I was doing it a little bit, but I'm not big and tall like she is.
She's
You
got
know what I'm
that
saying?
build.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? Take that. You know what I'm saying? Yo, she catapulted. And I am so happy to see her up there. You know what I'm saying? I'm so fucking happy because it's just like, I got to help. You know what I'm saying? I love helping. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I love helping.
So from what you've observed about me and what you know about me, what do you think that I could, like, because now you know how you said that Melanin Queen, she could do well in boxing, and she did it and she's doing well. What do you think that I could do well in?
Okay, so far I've heard what you want to film, and I hear a lot of foot, ignore, verbal humiliation, tease and deny. I mean, tease and denial.
Yes.
That's a big one too. I think tease and denial would probably be your biggest.
Ooh,
yeah, because you already do it. You know what I'm saying?
And in my life, I don't sleep with men.
Right. So to exaggerate it, tease and denial would be your, you know, because you can still be super fucking sexy.
Yes.
And it's always no bitch at the end. You know? You get nothing. You're getting fucking nothing. You're already giving them nothing. So give them more nothing.
And that's why these men are mad at me.
They're so upset because they can't get nothing.
Right, like this whole podcast, like this entire The Slumflower Hour is genuinely a tease and denial for men, because it's like, I come into this studio every week and I essentially address the men of the UK and Northern Ireland. None of you are worthy of this pussy, but I explain it in an intellectual way. Right. And it makes them angry because it is tease and denial without it being sexualized on purpose. So now that you join the dots, I'm like, that is actually very true.
You already do that. So I think in your content, you would be fucking fire because it's already your lane. Like on the vanilla side of things. You know what I'm saying? It's already your lane. So you just bring it over to this side.
It's so fascinating.
Yeah, through the roof. You're going to go through the roof. You're going to go through the roof. Once you start making content, you are going to be you're going to be up there with us.
Girl, I'm trying to I'm following your footsteps, Mistress Marley.
Yes.
Like, you two both inspire me so much as young black women who have decided
we're really doing
to
it out
do
here.
this.
We really are, yeah.
One day you just decided at 28 years old that you're going to just do this.
Fuck this.
Imagine what your life would be like had you not.
I'd be such a loser.
You'd be like these vanilla girls who are like,
I'd be the ones hating on you.
Pick me.
Yeah, I'd be the one saying, don't say that about marriage.
Don't you think that's a bit mean? What about male loneliness epidemic? Man, fuck you.
Yo, they hate us so much.
You. I hope you feel more lonely.
The thing is, they hate us so much. They only want to sleep with us. They don't like us for real. They don't care how our days goes. No, they don't care how our day goes for real. No, they're only taking us out on dates and doing nice things for hopes of pussy. Exactly.
That's why everybody got angry when I said marriage is sex work.
And it's like,
just like dating might as well be sex work too, because it's like you're fucking for weed.
Stop dating
and validation and text message. you're fucking for a grand rising, goddess. Is that what you're worth?
Oh my God.
Is that
Oh
what?
my God. Like, you couldn't be more correct. And I'm just like, y'all don't see it? Y'all don't
want
see
to
it?
see it.
Don't you get mad every time a guy takes you on a date? He's trying to take you straight to his house.
I get big mad.
Or, you know what I'm saying? Or he's trying even not to take you on a date. He's just like, let's Netflix and chill.
Ew.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just very low effort.
Girl, they're not doing Netflix and chill anymore in the UK. They're offering walks. They don't have, these men are not, they
Walks
don't
in
have
the
homes.
parks?
Yes,
Like,
they don't have
no.
homes, girl. They're looking for shelter.
Like, I'm not walking in the park with you. I don't even know you.
Yeah, but to walk,
and you don't want to spend no money?
because we need to get to know each other by walking and talking and grab a bite on the way.
No.
What about real love? No, excuse me. What about real love?
Real love. This is not how you do it.
Money is not love. Yes, it is.
Yes,
If
it
a man
is.
loves you, he'll
That's
give you
gonna
everything.
show me that you fucking adore me.
Sorry
you
to
love
break
me.
it to you.
You know
If
what I'm
a man
saying?
loves you, he'll give you everything he
Yeah.
has. His money especially. Yeah.
The reason why he's not giving you anything is because he hates you. The reason why you're not getting nothing out of him, he does not like you.
No, it's not. It's because he doesn't believe in capitalism. That's what the girls say to me. They say that this is capitalism.
But he goes and works hard. You know what I'm saying?
And buys PlayStation.
Right. He's selfish. He doesn't like you, ma. You're convenient.
He's my soulmate.
50-50.
No, he's
Yes.
because men and women are equal. We're not in the 70s anymore.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't let them
Girl.
tell you that. No, they're lying.
Ever since I became a dominant, it's like,
The truth is revealed.
girl,
The veil is up. The veil is up.
And I'm trying to get the other girls. I'm like, open your eyes. They're like,
Please,
no. And I'm
please.
like, girl, it's not going to cost you. You're not. All you're losing is the men who are not meant for you.
You're losing
the illusion.
You're losing your old self. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You're losing your old beliefs. You're unlearning what you've been brainwashed to believe. You're unlearning what men say, because we have to also stop believing them. We have to stop believing the fucking shit they be saying, because they're raised by the ghetto daddies and uncles and grandpas that they wasn't shit either, and they don't have good role models. Meanwhile, we have the best role models. Our mothers are breaking their back to make sure that we could clean a kitchen and raise a kid, you know what I'm saying, and cook phenomenally.
And still providing on top of all that. But
You know
men
what I'm
can't
saying?
provide.
And they're usually moving in with us. You know how many hobo sexuals I've dated? I'm like, damn, how did you get a draw? You live here already? It's been 2 weeks. No, they're using us for real, for convenience. They just want in-house pussy and 50-50.
And then they marry you so that they can have you on a retainer.
You know what I'm saying?
And then you're contractually bound to them.
You know, somebody told me, I was like, yeah, I want to get married. And this was this year. And they were like, I don't see you getting married. And I almost took offense to it, but then I had to think about it. And then your conversation came up on the internet. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, no marriage. Fuck that.
Oh, I don't want to be married.
Yeah, I figured out I don't either.
Unless. So this is the
Unless it's the perfect situation to my subby hubby who's making my life beautifully, more beautiful than I can make it. Because you got to beat me at that. You got to beat me at loving me and providing for me. You got to beat me at that.
I'm welcome to be surprised. Because for
If
me,
you
it's
can.
like, I would marry for, genuinely, I'm marrying for the lifestyle and ownership of properties.
Yes.
Girl, you know what? Yeah, they should have never let me discover escort Twitter. I'm seeing these girls talking about a guy left her a fleet of apartments. I'm like,
Yeah. In the will.
apartment buildings. The girls are talking about, I want a house and picket fence. No. Dream bigger. The girls are getting apartments. They're getting multi-story buildings being left for them.
Yeah.
From the same pussy, the same
Yeah,
4-inch
yeah.
organ we all have, guys.
So now they don't even have to do sex work if they don't want. Now they're catapulted into a whole real estate industry. You know what I'm saying? I mean, isn't that how Coco Chanel started? She was like an escort,
Yes,
and she
was
used her
popping that
money.
pussy and she was
used
a
her money
spy.
to be Coco Chanel, and now
Her.
look,
So yes, I would marry the man who is going to
help build my legacy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't give people like, yeah, but what about love? This is love.
This is love.
We're talking about love. This
If
is
he
about
loves
love.
me, he'll help me build my legacy.
Period. Because
And
a man
he'll be right there.
Jesus. Oh,
He'll be right
Jesus.
there.
Free
He'll
my
be,
sisters.
he'll be right there, getting all the perks of my legacy
Free
as
my
well.
sisters.
You know what I'm
free
saying?
my
Like,
free my sisters.
free them.
Because they're doing, we're splitting bills, and what about meeting him before he had it all?
I don't want a
Girl.
roommate. And what you said the other day, I'm not here to build.
No, cut that rubbish out.
I'm already
Look
built.
At these hands.
I'm already built.
Do these look like builder hands?
I don't do no physical
Construction
labor.
site.
Nah.
Baby.
We not building, baby. Do that on your own.
Come built.
Come completed. Exactly. Come completed and healed. Because I ain't dealing with that shit either.
Because what one man is building, another man has built.
Mhm.
There's a man out there who is completed.
Yeah.
It's not about perfection, but it's about coming built.
Completion.
I don't think built is perfection, because
Are
when
you
we
whole?
yes, because when as women, I think what we do as well, the mistake we're making is that we're calling a built man perfection, and perfection is not attainable. So we think that that's not attainable. That's the conflation of two very different concepts, babe.
Right.
A man who is built is not a perfect man,
No.
but he's better for you than a man who is still building.
Right.
Talking about let's grind it out.
Yeah, the little builders, they continuously try to tell me that the built don't exist. I'm like,
Yeah.
they.
Oh, it's the 1%.
I'm like,
no, it's not.
I'm like, no, it's really not. He just don't chill with you. You're not a safe male space for him to be himself. So you'll never meet him. Actually, they don't chill with you. The guys that we want and need, they don't chill with the ghetto. You know what I'm saying? They don't chill with the slums. They don't chill with these broke guys. They don't chill with all this toxic masculine people. No, they believe in the opposite. They actually worship women. They believe the black woman is God. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't chill with you. You'll never see them. That's why you can't fathom it. But I come across these type of men on a daily fucking basis.
Me too.
I just haven't chosen them with my heart.
Girl,
you know
and you
saying?
don't need to, because you've got all the time in the world. And you know why I believe we have all the time in the world? And this is the beautiful thing that femdom has taught me. And this is why I'm so relaxed now. I look at the women who are like 10, 15 years older than us, who are the veterans.
Yes.
And they are
still have a
different
slew.
dimension.
Yes.
I'm looking at Madame Caramel. I'm like, I'm trying to be like,
yes. I can't wait to grow up and be like her. Oh my God. The thing is, the guys, they lie to us and they tell us that as you get older, you know, your beauty will go away
fade,
and
your
no one
power.
will love you, and you're not. You know what I'm saying?
Older doms
They
beg to
tell us
differ.
all these scary lies.
No.
But then when you go on Pornhub,
Baby.
mature category is the number one watched and sought out category. Like, y'all are watching for the old ladies.
Girl, I be following this dominatrix. She's like in her 60s.
Yeah.
And she's been doing this from when I was like 10 years old or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like,
it has super
she's
longevity.
in these men's brains.
Because they respect the fuck out of her. It's not about her looks. You know what I'm saying? It's about her whole aura, her psyche, who she is deep down inside, for real. You know what I'm saying? And how she handles them and makes them feel. You know what I'm saying? It's really not about our looks and our beauty, because these subs are going to be around me and they're going to seek me out forever until I'm wrinkly. You know what I'm saying? Maybe past that. They're going to buy my content when I die.
Oh, that's
You know what I'm saying?
crazy to think about.
I'm gonna link up all those accounts to my mom and my sister and my family, my state. Yeah, like it's never gonna stop until I want it to. Wow. Mm-hmm.
And that is the power that I want women to just know that you
that.
have. Like, it's time to just stop listening to men.
Yeah,
the
stop
one that I
listening to
hear
them.
the most, and men parrot this on purpose because it's propaganda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the kind of guys who are going to provide, they're in 1%. No, they're not.
They're really not.
I'm sorry.
That's super propaganda.
That's propaganda. 1%. That's not true. So how come I'm seeing them all the time if they're 1%?
Every day they're trying to talk to me.
1%.
No.
And also, like, I'm sorry, 1% of a million is what, 100? I don't even know what that number is, but it's a lot. It's a lot more than you think it is. And I also think that the reason why they're doing that is to promote scarcity mindset, so that out of fear you will settle for
so that we feel
man.
desperate for them.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
I don't even if 1% means that it's only 100 men in the world, I'm good enough to bag one.
Right.
Because I can. And I will.
Yeah.
And when I get there, I'll be like, I tried to tell you guys, I tried to bring you in. When I own those fleet of apartments that my husband has left for me, I'll be like, see, I told you. While you was there building and splitting bills, I was getting apartments in my name.
Why you were telling me to not talk about the men like that, and oh, I'm never gonna do this and do that.
I opened the clip store.
Look at me now. Come on.
Girl.
I'm so happy to be here and as a femdom.
Yes.
Like in today's society. Because I feel like top of the food chain. Yeah. I feel like, I'm the predator. Everyone else is prey.
Period. And you don't use your power to oppress. You use your power to build your empire.
Yeah. Everything is consensual.
This is matriarchy, honey.
Everything is consensual. Nothing is against their will. They ask for this. They beg for this. You know
and they have to pay for the opportunity.
And they pay for it. That's the top part. Not even just asking. They paid. You know what I'm saying? They went in their pockets.
And tipped.
They
saved up for it.
They saved up.
Oh, that's an act. I'm sorry, that's so romantic.
It is.
You saved
Especially the London boys. They saw me
London
last
boys
year.
love you. So,
and they were like,
before we wrap this up, you're going to have to leave soon because you're going to have to do some cash meets, aren't you? Can you tell the girls what a cash meet is?
So a cash meet is usually when you meet a sub outside, after you've taken deposit, of course, and you collect funds in your hand.
Like from the cash machine.
from the cash machine, they have to count it out. You know, embarrass them a little bit. Like, make them count it and place it right in your hand in front of everybody. It has to do with public humiliation. I love public humiliation. Some subs do too. Like, I go to, you know, little diners and I'm acting like a couple, cursing him out at the table or embarrassing him in front of the waiter, stuff like that, spitting in his drinks and stuff like that. Like, yeah.
You are my favorite supervillain.
I do feel like a supervillain sometimes.
People call me a supervillain and I take ownership of it. I'm like, yeah,
oh,
I am evil.
yeah. I am. I'm pretty sadistic. But yeah, cash meat is the easiest way to make money, because after that you can spit in his face and leave. You can literally walk away. That's it. That's all they expect. They expect a middle finger, some spit in the face, a slap. The first time I had a cash meet, I was on 42nd Street. Had to be like
in New York,
2016. Yeah.
How did that come about, the cash meets?
They just hit me on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? And back then I didn't take deposits yet. You know what I'm saying?
So
it was all up to chance. Yeah. But white guy came up to me. I was waiting in the bar, and he said, "Okay, I'm ready." I finished my drink. We went outside, and I did a. As he counted the money in my hand, and when he was done, I just said, spat in his face, and I walked around him and just left. And he said, "Thank you, goddess." Like, yelled it behind me. And I felt like,
that bitch.
Oh my God, I was that bitch after
you
that.
Are that girl.
I was, and I'm never looking back.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? I'm never looking back after that. So yes, that was like one of a really like pinnacle kind of experience too. I mean, besides my first time, but yeah.
Honestly, I could talk about this with you forever. I'm sad that this has got to come to an end, because you got some cash to go collect, girl. I don't want to hold you up too long, girl.
It's okay.
But genuinely, I'm grateful that you flew in
Likewise.
from Paris.
I did, and I'm going back to Paris tonight.
Mind you, all of this is sub-funded.
Yeah, because I'm getting a cash meet, and the flights are paid for. So yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Honey is not breaking out of her own pocket.
No.
And it will be reimbursed by somebody else.
Oh yeah.
It's always a flow of reimbursement for something that someone else paid for.
Somebody wants to smell my smelly feet when I get back to Paris. So
praise Jesus.
Come on.
Alchemy, power. This is the matriarchy. This is the new world order.
Thank
you. Get to know. Catch yourself up to speed.
They're going to have a hard time.
If you would like to learn more about the OG Tierra Doll, here is where you can find her.
Oh, yes. Twitter is like my main source. So at Tiara Doll _.
How's that spelled? TIERRADOLL _. And if women want to learn from you, how can they access your information to learn? Okay,
I do have a mentorship website. So it's on the link in my bio. There's a link through to go there. Yep. But the website itself is tiaradoll.net. Simply put.
Perfect. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for coming on this podcast.
You're welcome.
I am so excited for women to hear this.
And I do one-on-ones. I feel like those are more valuable because I get to kind of pick you not apart, but I get to deep, immersive, by talking to you. Yeah, I do get immersive, and I can like intuitively tell you where to go with it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's the best way, instead of like, reading. Not everybody learns the same way. You know what I'm saying? Some people are more hands-on. Some people can read books and be okay. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely like to be hands-on, and I give people the opportunity to film with me so they get a little jump start. You know what I'm saying? Wow. Oh my God, you got Tiara Doll in your clip store? You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Oh, Tiara Doll, the OG. Thank you so much for coming on the Slumflower Hour podcast. This is iconic.
Me. It was.
This is monumental.
I'm so happy.
I'm so happy. Yeah. And shout out to your mom.
Yes. Hey, Mom. Yes.